Let's go down S&P 100. All right, I'm sure now there's 100 stocks in here, and it covers a lot of sectors all in once. All right, all in one. Man, we're going to look at the weekly chart, and we're going to look for actionable signals. I'm pretty sure we're not going to find any. ETFs are taxed lower than commons. Okay. All right, they're taxed lower than commons. Thank you, JJ. That's that good information that the 18-year-old kid can't get you. All right. Apple, no actionable signal. ABBV, no actionable signals. There's going to be a lot of this, guys. All right. My goodness. Now I could use scanners, but that's not really going to help you guys. All right. All right. AIG, AMD, not a lot going on here. All right. Shooter, AMT. Oh, all right. American Tower, shooter on the week. Shooter on the week. Shooter on the week goes in force below 215. If the market wants to continue to go to the lows, the target there is 207. 207. Let's make that white for the target. Easy to see. All right, so we got one. That's good. That's good. AMT. We'll put that on there. We'll put that on there. Oh, Strat Soldier, how come you didn't do all this beforehand? Because I like to do this together. All right, we're a team, we're a crew. All right, we do this all together, and I'm not hiding you guys in a Discord, you know, so we can all have secret conversations. Nah, let's do it all. Let's do it live. Let's do it live. Boeing to the lows, land the plane. Nice broadening formation there. Look at that, beautiful. Test the highs, test the lows, test the highs, test the lows. All right, all right. Bank of America to the lows. Look at that, just dropping off. Now, this is automatic broadening formation drawn in TrendSpider. So when you see something like this, it completely expanded the broadening formation. We don't say broke, expanded the broadening formation. Now that the day is over, you can redraw this broadening formation, okay? All right, look at that reconfirmation. Oh, look at that. Take my money out. Get it out now. Take my money out. BK. Not Burger King. It's Bank of New York. All right. To the lows. All right. Not seeing any actionable signals. I'm just using the down button on the screen. All right. Looking at the weekly chart. We have a shooter on Colgate. Colgate. Shooter on Colgate. Put that on the weekly watch list. That goes in force below $91. And the target is 82. All right. Looking for actionable signals. We're looking for hammers, shooters, inside bars. There is a shooter on Costco. That goes in force below 913.55. All right. 913.55. Weekly watch list. There it is. Weekly signals. Bam. All right. Very nice. CRM, no actionable signal. We're looking for hammers, shooters, inside bars. Now, you can take any random 2 up and 2 down and say that's a 2-2 reversal. You can also do the same thing on the opposite side. All right, 2 down and 2 up and say it's a 2-2 reversal. But it's so much easier when you're just using the actionable signals. All right. Disney. To the lows. Wow. They are wrecking Disney. Wrecking Disney. Dow. All right, here we go. Shooter on Duke. Duke Energy. Remember, I said this is a defensive position, and they're taking their money out of Duke. And that shooter goes in force below 117, and the target is 114. Put that on the weekly watch list. All right. We're doing it now. Now we're starting to see them. EMR, we're looking for Bigfoot. Yeah. Sasquatch. Yep. All right. Now, this is a weird looking thing here. I wouldn't really necessarily call this a shooter. It's just a doji. All right. Remember, a doji is the opening and the close are pretty much the same. All right. Man, it shows that the buyers were in there and they's like, nope, sorry, wrong, sell it. So, I mean, you could put it on there. If you want to put that on your watch list for some downside action, that's okay. All right. Potential 3-2-2 back down.
the 322.
But I necessarily wouldn't call that a shooter. All right. Ford Doji, no actionable signal. FedEx, no actionable signal. Shooter on GILD. All right. GILD for a potential rev strat to the downside. Rev strat is inside bar, 2 up, 2 down. All right. Inside bar, 2 up, 2 down. So we'll see if that wants to go 2 down next week below 107.17. The first target technically is 106, but if that goes in force, it's going to hit that pretty much immediately. The target is going to be 104. 104. How far they want to take that down. GM. Notice how easy this is, all right? Easy. You don't need scanners. Scanners are just a tool. That's another doji thing. I wouldn't call that a shooter, but if you want to put that on your list for Home Depot for some more lows, like you can do that. HON. No actionable signal. INTC. I told you guys that was not an investment. All right. A lot of people are like, well, it's going to be great for the small trader, those small account traders. All you did was get your small account traders in some hot water. All right. That's all you did. Potential 2-2 reversal back down for cheese ketchup. Kraft Heinz Company, all right, that's going to go in force below $29.69, and the target's $28. All right, they're not completely destroying cheese ketchup, but hey, there's some sellers in there. Coca-Cola, shooter on Coca-Cola. That's a nice shooter, beautiful. That's what your shooters want to look. That's what you want them to look like. All right, that's nice. It closes in the bottom 33% of the candle formation. It goes in force below $69.80, and the target's $68.36. All right, Coca-Cola. Weekly signals, shooter. All right, keep it going. No actionable. So, LMT, Lockheed Martin. This is interesting. Shooter on Lockheed Martin to the lows. That's interesting because of all the geopolitical stuff going on right now. This would be going to the lows, but hey, they don't want to buy no war machines right now. That's okay. All right. Look at this, all red. McDonald's, shooter on McDonald's below $2.99. It's great price. The first target's $2.95. The second target after that is going to be $2.84. Put that on the list. All right, we got some actionable signals here. It's working. That's good. I like that. Mondelez, potential 2 up, 2 down, but that's not a shooter, so we're going to leave it alone. No actionable signal. We're looking at the weekly chart. All right. Nastiness out here, all right? If it's not an actionable signal, skip it. Well, it's already red on all time frames. I can just go ahead and start buying puts, right? Wrong, all right, because it can reverse back in your face, all right? And then you'll see things like, let's go look at, I'm going right back up to Netflix. You're like, oh, Netflix is at $8.55. This is a great time to buy. Not while it's red, okay? Let me say this one more time. We don't buy stocks when they're red. We buy them when they're green. All right? Wait for it to reverse back to the highs. All right? Please. We trade reversals. Are you going to buy the dip? Get out of my face with that. How about we trade reversals? We don't buy the dip. All right? Potential 2-2 reversal back down on Procter & Gamble. I'm going to skip it, though. Ugly shooter on Philip Morris. Philip Morris in the time. Potential 3-2 down. PayPal, destruction. Goodness gracious. QCOM to the lows. It's like JJ, you know what this feels like? It feels like 2022 all over again. It really does. It really does. And 2022 was tough. Everything going to the lows. I can hear that whiny little voice right now. I love trading stuff that's going to the downside because I got that. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. Tesla shooter on the week. Tesla Momo shooter on the week. We're going to put that on the watch list. All right. Don't believe the hype. Trading stuff to the lows is not that easy. So you can look at TSLS. Remember, you can go long that stock. You can also just stay in cash and do nothing. Wait. All right. Wait. Wait for the reversal back up. This is definitely old chart. UNH with a shooter on the week. All right. Shooter on the week. UNH. UNP to the lows. UPS to the lows. Almost done. Very easy. Only took a few minutes. All right. So when 8X trades, all these other guys, Walmart, Momo shooter to the lows. Momo shooter on Walmart. Momo shooter. When they say do your due diligence, what they're talking about is going through these charts, looking for these actionable signals, building your watch list based on condition. All right. And then that way you're ready for the next week. That's what they're talking about. All right. Not just pouring over charts, just charts after charts after charts after charts. No. Look for your actionable signals, make your watch list, move on. Move on. All right. XOM was the last one. That's 100 stocks. We went over 100 stocks in about 10 minutes. That's easy, guys. Come on now. Come on now. You can do this. You can do this. And it doesn't take hours and hours and hours. You learn the strat so you don't have to look at your charts for hours and hours and hours. All right. It's fun in the beginning. I know that. But out of 100 stocks that we looked at, there are how many in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 actually have actionable signals for next week. All right. That's why we learn the strat. And that's why we look for actionable signals. All right. We use actionable signals, time frame continuity, and broadening formations to create winning positions. All right. So let's go through our list one more time. Costco, shooter on the week. UNH, shooter on the week. Lockheed Martin, War Machines, shooter on the week. McDonald's, shooter on the week. Tesla, Momo shooter on the week. American Tower, shooter on the week. Philip Morris in the time. All right. Ugly shooter, but potential 3-2 down on the week. Duke Energy. Very interesting because utilities is a defensive position and they're taking their money out of utilities. Shooter on the week. That's interesting. All right. We want to know about that. GILD. Guild. Shooter on the week. Colgate. They're even taking their money out of Colgate. Everybody's got to brush their teeth. Right? Get in there and brush your teeth if you ain't brushed your teeth yet. If you got your little rugrats running around, get in there and brush your teeth. All right, shooter on the week. Colgate. Walmart, Momo shooter on the week. Coca-Cola. All right, shooter on the week. WRB, inside week. Potential 2-1-2 down. And then cheese ketchup, Kraft Heinz Company, 2-2 reversal, back down, ugly shooter on the week, potential. Okay, this is not enforced yet. All right. He says he wants to look at it's UCO and crude and utilities got crushed. Anything with energy got crushed. All right, not a lot of participation in the chat right now because it's all red. I know. We like to look for those things reversing back up. I know. We're together on this, all right? But what you have is 13 actionable signals for next week, all right? We don't just jump in, all right? Well, everything's red, Miles, just buy puts. We don't do that, all right? We use these actionable signals to get in on what's already happening on the month, all right? you know, hey, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the show for this time. You know, it's tough out there. It's tough. Not a lot going on out there. We have some actionable signals that'll get us more into the continuity of the red for next week, all right? And the chat is slowed down big time. That means that lets me know, hey, you guys are tired. It's been a rough couple weeks. Oh, it's been a rough couple weeks. And, you know, we all know it's going to the downside, all right? Luckily, we have our actionable signals that we can go to for next week. Thank you so much for everybody being in here. Hopefully, you got some tidbits, some things that you can learn, hopefully you took some notes. And please go back, rewind back the show.